Okay, you know how we do this whole thing. Roll call.
Ryan.
Kyle.
Mikey.
And Steven! Welcome back, everybody, to episode 11 of our Misty Fortune and Absent Hearts campaign, the DM Headcanon group, The Nuances. Not official, not chosen by the players. That is my personal headcanon, just so everybody knows. My favorite
How
nuance
about
group
the new
of
aunties?
the new aunties, whatever our eventually named group shall be, our horrific heroes and stalwart companions continue their journey in the lands of Barovia, having successfully defended the village of Orsnu from the undead white Laszlo's attack. Laszlo himself stealing away this powder box of untold power and importance, besieges the village with a veritable army of the undead. Our heroes are successful in repelling the worst of the attacks, saving valuable supplies, and rescuing the unfortunate. However, during the chaos of the hours after their seance in this attack, Serena, the young medical assistant to Glovia Falasenu, has been kidnapped by Glovia and taken back to the Falansenu's manor overlooking the village of Orsnu. Serena's mother pleaded with the party to go and rescue her. Her husband, Boris, having already made his way to the manor in search of his daughter. The party agreed, with an extra bit of reward being promised at the return of both Serena and Boris. Alder briefly, with the assistance of a strange amber light, retrieved a signet ring with a strange symbol on it that was on the over-engorged and elongated hand of the what we would call the captain of this undead strike force. The party made their way from Orsnu after taking a quick short rest to lick their wounds and bandage up to the Falasenu manor. There, overlooking the village of Orsnu, the party went through the back door, jokes intended, and entered into the Falasenu manor. Once a beautiful, majestic manor that held every sort of party and social event imaginable, now reduced to a haunted, empty visage of the splendor it once held. The party re-encountered Isabella, the ghost of Isabella, I should say, the daughter of Glovia Falasenu, and the source of Glovia's ever-encroaching madness. The party began to investigate the manor, looking for where Glovia and Serena have been sequestered away. In one room, they found an overgrown midnight garden, once a beautiful greenhouse with various plants taking life, now has become damp, noxious, and overgrown. So the party attempted to use a dilapidated, removed set of stairs to get to the second floor, perhaps to get the jump on Glovia before their presence is noticed. An awful aberration of dozens of unfortunate victims of Glovia's machinations had coalesced, reformed, and with perhaps the most vials of magic, became a gibbering mouther, its various mouths splitting up from open wounds, the appendages snaking forward, trying to draw our adventurers in. With some exceptionally bad rolls from the whole cast and crew, myself included, the gibbering mouther was eventually defeated, dispersing to the dozens of stitched together and coalesced corpses that made this horrifying creature. Jove was the first to come to the conclusion that the stairs had been removed on purpose, stopping them from sneaking through the back half of the manor up to the second floor. The party continued to press forward, following Isabella's lead as she chose to show them some of her friends and companions that reside with her in the manor. The party briefly stopped by the room, the parlor room that they had seen in their seance with Sybil Rasia, seeing that it is no longer the beautiful, well-kept parlor they saw in their vision. Broken windows, destroyed harpsichords, and the beautiful family portrait of the Falensenus destroyed in Laszlo's rage as he stole this powder box from Glovia's estate. The party continued on to a large ballroom that once would have been the envy of any noble. Instead of party guests and dancing, the remnants of Glovia's decade-long experiments were shown in their full horror. 4 undead children, all the same size and age of Isabella in her same white dress, their chests surgically opened up, all of their hearts, lungs, and other organs removed, save for their esophagus and a pulsating stomach that beats much like a heart in their empty cavities. The party had little choice but to defend themselves as the undead children began to try to consume our party. But with good use of magic and might, the children were laid low. We return back to our party now. Let me bring up the map for everyone to say where we're at. Upon the first floor, they are in this room number 9. The party, as the adrenaline teeters off for the moment, having won another victory, Isabella gleefully tells the party of other friends within the manor, a theater, and her favorite show right next to her own bedroom. As I believe it was Virgil inquiring how they got there, Isabella excitedly skipped through the northern wall and disappears from view, her ghostly form ignoring the solid walls and structures of the manor. We return back to the party. The undead children, in various forms of destroyed, lay at your feet. Where would you like to go?
Well, we need to try and make our way north. We could blow up the wall, but I feel like that would alert people in the house to our presence.
Yeah, I agree. There's a couple of doors that we can take that looks like it'll be pushing us more towards the north, so I guess we just gotta pull on one of them.
And then when we go out, I point to the number 8 door, and I say, anything but that one.
Alright, well, maybe the next one over then.
Do either of you have any kind of scrying magic? There might be something interesting in there to see. I just know that we don't want to be in there.
Well, I would be able to identify something if we found it in there. But
well, then around we go.
Indeed. So, skipping number 8, the Glovia's personal room, as told by Isabella. There is, of course, a door to your left leading back into the parlor, a door immediately to your right, and then 2 doors at the end of the hallway to the right as well. Which one would you guys like to go into?
We don't actually, as characters, have this map, right?
No.
No.
Unfortunately, it is very difficult to try to block off parts of the map and show it to you guys without just scribbling it in.
Do any of these doors have keyholes?
Looking at them, let me take a look-see. Looking at them, they do not appear to have any visible keyholes in them, except for number 6.
I see. Okay. Was number 6 the parlor, or was that 11?
The parlor's number 11. The retiring room, Glovia's retiring room, is number 8, the one that Isabella pointed out.
We haven't been in 6 at all.
You have not. You entered in from 13, went into room number 12, the Midnight Garden, went across the hall to number 9, the ballroom, after stopping by in 11, the parlor.
Yes. Okay.
I've got
My
excited
best bet
hands.
right now is Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo. You know that old wives' tale about catching a tiger by a toe?
Virgil, go ahead and roll a d6.
Am I taking psychic damage? 2.
Nope. You do the eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and the second door. So if we're looking back out of number 9, it is the door right next to the retiring room that your brain goes eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by his toe, and lands on that one.
Oh, so we're still in the hallway back there.
Indeed.
Okay.
Unless you have moved anywhere, but it would feel disingenuous to just place you in a room you haven't been to.
Well, this one's closer, and Mr. Minimo said that this is the one we should take. If either of you have,
Mr.
better
Minimo,
strength.
take your +1.
Is that, just so I understand, is that room 2 that you're saying here?
So we are currently in the back hallway above 11.
Yes.
We are
yes.
going into room 2 through the right door, is what Mr. Minimo says.
Indeed,
That's
indeed.
where I would have suggested to go myself, so no objections.
Yeah, let's keep pushing forward.
So you enter through the Mr. Mighty Mo door into area 2. This is a grand foyer, however you want to say it, is obviously made to impress. The ceiling is open to the second story and ultimately to a glass paned roof, which is currently leaking rather badly. Pillars line the sides of the room, supporting an overlooking rail on the second story. There is an impressive staircase directly to your left. However, you also see a secondary set of stairs directly to your left as well. Jove, Alder, and Virgil, you would all have spent enough time in manors, various places across the Moon Sea and the Forgotten Realms, to know that these are likely the servant stairs. They also appear to lead up to the second floor. Looking through, you also see directly across from you the large, heavy doors marking the front entrance, still locked and unopened, and 2 other doors to the right as you push into this room.
And we're on the first floor, correct?
Indeed.
Well, that looks interesting to explore there, but I think that our guide is the one that we should be trying to follow here. She's I assume gonna try her best to keep us out of as much trouble as possible, although that doesn't seem to hold too true.
And she seemed pretty excited watching us display our skills there a few minutes ago, so she may look like a child, but who knows at this point whether or not the same innocence of a child is still within her soul. But that said, she is our best guide that we have up here. So was she saying that she was going to go upstairs? I don't really know the layout of this place.
If I'm remembering the conversation correctly, I said we're wait, what are we looking for?
Theater?
Your last conversation, you inquired about her father and the workshop that is on the second floor, and she also is very much wanting to show you the theater and her new friend that has recently arrived.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
I will also remind you that with some successful perception checks earlier last session, you guys did hear a number of male screaming from the second floor.
So the conversation went, hey, well, you wanted to show us your friend, take us to the theater, and then she responded with, tee-hee, and then went through a wall.
Yeah.
Well, I've been to a couple of fancy manors here or there, but I don't know them well enough if you build a theater on the first floor or on the second floor. Y'all got any ideas of where what might be the best option for that?
Well,
Find her.
I would say if you're making something like a big theater, I mean, you're certainly gonna need a lot of space, right? Say something like, something like the room actually where we found her, possibly. So it's gonna be somewhere above us. It might be one of the first things that we see once we get up there, but it's gonna need to be a big room, long stretch of space for sure. It's not just gonna be some side door, I would assume.
Well then, yeah, let's if I'm hearing you right, maybe we take this smaller set of stairs. Looks like might be for whoever was serving these folks back in the day, and maybe that'll be a little more discreet as we get up there. But as far as we know, her friend could be Serena. She could be in trouble, so we do need to be making our moves.
I agree. And to the point that you gentlemen were making as well, it is correct that, this girl, I don't think that she is intentionally trying to pull one over on us, but clearly her sense of things is warped. However, she is definitely still a child, so we can use that to our benefit too. She seems to have a warped idea of what playing is, so we might be able to convince her the same way, if you catch my drift.
That makes sense to me. We got to use all the tools on our tool belt.
Especially if we're going to be facing her mom. I'd sure not like to have to deal with another thing on top of that, so... yeah. Anyways, shouldn't wait around too much longer. Let's head on in.
So, if I understand, you're using the servant stairs to head up to the second floor.
Yes.
Okay. Heading immediately to your left and ascending up the stairs. Let's post our next map.
Floor 2.
Oh, let's go.
Indeed. Using the servant stairs, you find yourself on the second floor. You are now overlooking down into the first floor, the balcony that wraps around. You see various doors leading off to different rooms. Many of these doors do seem to possess locks on them. Strange, non-keyhole locks, actually. The door directly behind you doesn't have, your typical, think like cast iron keyhole medieval styles. Instead, has an odd, almost octangular imprint in it. One that you suspect some sort of ring or pendant might fit into instead of your typical key. Everybody go ahead and roll me a perception check.
$16.
Passive
16.
12.
With advantage, passive of, I get a +5 to passive. 14.
14, 12, 14, and 16. Looking around, the room appears to be empty. You don't see any signs of scuffle or strife immediately. However, looking ahead to your right, you do see a small placard sign with nice engraving on it that does say theater, pointing towards room number 3. Looking over towards number 1, you see in a kind of cute, handmade, fine handwriting, but clearly childish, it says Daddy's Workshop.
On which door is that?
Number 1.
Number 1.
Wait, number 1 is the front door.
If you're looking at the second map, they have a whole new
Oh,
set. Indeed.
Aha!
Yes!
Which one's theater?
Theater
Oh, probably
appears to be
3,
number
huh?
3. Yes. With one with what you assume likely was Isabella's work while she was still alive. Has a Daddy's Workshop sign on it.
Well, based on the direction that she went forward, she was probably headed here. Otherwise, she probably would have gone straight up. I'm assuming she can just move straight up. I don't want to be ghostist or anything. Is that a thing, ghostist? Is that a race?
I'm trying to think. I believe, Alder, you have some experience with ghosts back from Flan, and they do indeed can go up, down, left, right. They are unbound by the material plane's movement rules.
Yeah, things of physical nature don't really mean a whole lot to them, so they
Yeah,
could have
so-
just.
The direction she went, she's probably taking us here.
Well, all I know is one of these days I hope I have a house that's nice enough to label things. Maybe even have a theater in it, but if she's waiting for us there, at least we know where we're going now.
Now, we can try the door. That's option 1. Give me a second. We can break it down, but I think that would alarm everybody to our presence. We could knock, or we could call out for Isabella's name, possibly alerting people to our presence. There might be other options I'm not thinking of, but that's my list.
Do you want me to try and sneak into this room, or? I mean, it might be well lit, but I could certainly take a peek.
DM, do all of the doors have the spot for insignia or something to open up the door?
On the second floor, it appears so.
Yeah. Well, all I know is these door handles don't look like any ones that I've seen before, so I mean, we're just assuming that they're locked. The ones downstairs, no.
The only other option would be, well, clearly these are locked because somebody don't want us snooping around in here. We could always take a trip back to perhaps Glovia's office. Might let us know. Yeah, that might also let her know that we're here, but well, that seems to be where we're at right now.
I have a feeling that whatever she's planning, she's probably not going to be doing it in her own little private room, but maybe somewhere in Daddy's workshop, if anything. If they've got some unholy machinations of bringing their daughter back. Well, I just imagine it's probably not her own private little room. But, you know, to Virgil's point, if our only option is to force our way through this door, that's going to be real loud. And we at least have some sort of stealth on our side here, so...
I think
frankly,
the idea, before we think too hard about this and work our little brains out, is to try the door handle. Because, boy, if that is unlocked, this is a long conversation for nothing.
Let's try it first, and then, yeah, you're right. We can go from there.
So you're going to the workshop. Do I understand that correctly? Excellent.
Yes.
The door is indeed locked when you try it. Could I have everybody go ahead and roll me an investigation check?
It's a 10.
11.
11.
11.
11. Looking at the door itself, Virgil, as you try the handle of it, even with your strength, it doesn't seem to budge at all. Almost unnaturally strong. As the three of you kind of investigate and look it over, and you look at kind of the small engraving where a keyhole would be, it looks about the size of a ring.
Feels like it may be a magical lock. I can say that I have no experience with any of that, but if the stories are true, this is what I imagine it would feel like.
Well, then there's definitely no use in us wasting our effort trying to beat down a magically locked door, so... And if all of them, looks like up here, have this lock on it, I don't think we're going to be getting through any here, whether that's to the stage or to the workshop, until we find said key. Unless, Alder, you got something up your sleeve that would be able to bypass some sort of magical mechanism here. We may need to retrace our steps.
Unfortunately, I do not. There's certainly wizards that know some spells that could get you through some locks here and there. Best I could do is identify the exact nature of this lock. If you wanted to give me some time to investigate it, but otherwise we might just be best searching the other floor, see if there's any keys or something that we missed.
Alder, roll me insight.
Sure. For insight, that is a 21.
21. Alder, as you're saying this, you're kind of looking over the door, trying to sense its magical nature. You put your finger over kind of the indent where this keyhole would be, and something registers for you. You can see the engravings in here match the ring that the amber light showed you off of that undead captain. The one dressed in fine servant's clothes.
Oh, wait just a second here. And I believe I have that ring still on me, right? That is
Indeed, you did.
the signet ring, yeah. Alder will place that on his finger and then try to see if he can activate the door, like place it on the divot.
You put it in the divots, and you hear like a magnetic. You see the outline of the door radiates a pale light for just a moment. And then the door opens.
And he'll kind of whisper and point to the ring now. Gentlemen, it looks like we are back in business. Let's take a look.
You enter into the room. It is clearly an inventor and a craftsman's workshop. All types of contraptions lie about the floor and workbenches. Cogwheels, springs, and other mechanical objects you've never seen before are scattered everywhere. Many toy soldiers and mechanical men lie about. Some of them hang from the rafters, swinging slowly. As you enter, their eyes appear to track your movements. There are also a few human and even larger-sized mechanical arms, some with weapon modifications. Looking around, you see a number of workbenches, notes, tools, and other peculiar devices seem to be all placed in both a chaotic yet organized manner. You can see a wooden box with a central fist-sized brass handle dominates one of these workbenches with a fair bit of loose paper notes attached to the other. Right next to it, I shouldn't say attached. You see a set of stairs towards the back, and coming up them, her feet hardly touching the ground, you see Isabella's ghost climb up the stairs and go, "Oh, that's where you all went." As she skips over to you and begins to kind of peer through and fidget with the various toy soldiers, mechanical men inside this room.
Seeing her, I will enter, because now any cover that we had is blown.
Entering in, the workshop once upon a time saw much use, but you can see that many of the corners, the shelves that line here, have a fine layer of dust to them. Less so than some of the other larger rooms you've seen, but clearly has been in disuse for some amount of time. Alder, your more magically attuned senses feels a certain aura radiating in here.
Isabel, I know this is your daddy's workshop. What kind of things does he make in here, specifically?
Anything and everything. He makes toys, he makes dolls, he's made legs for people who lose them, arms for people who lose them. Daddy can fix anything. Chairs, tables, dresses. If somebody made it, he can fix it.
And he's not around? Did he go out somewhere?
Oh, Daddy's still here. Just in a different room. Mommy's been working on him.
I see. Are you guys all getting ready for the show that you wanted to take us to, right? You mentioned something about a theater.
Oh, yeah. No, that's for me. Mommy gave me a whole new show to watch while she works on something. So that I wouldn't be bored.
Interesting. Well, this place is pretty interesting, too. I don't know if you got to go around here much, but you should really show us around this place first. Don't you think, Isabel? I think that'd be fun.
Oh, that would be. Okay. We'll start here, and then I'll show you my room, and then we'll go to the theater, and then we'll see the show, and I can show you all sorts of cool stuff on the way.
Alright, let's start with this room. Show us what stands out here.
Okay. And so she begins to go through and names almost all the toy soldiers and mechanical men. She points out that strange polished wooden box, calls it the controller. She's not sure how it works, but that when her daddy used it, he could make the toy soldiers march at attention and do all sorts of fun tricks for her amusement. There's lots of stuff in here that she points out, but doesn't seem to have a very good grasp on what they do, what they are, usually calling it, an arm. Here's a mechanical arm, and here's a wooden arm. Points to the kind of stack of notes in there. Says that they belong to her daddy, but she thinks that they're boring. And has never read them himself. She, like a really excited kid, begins going over every small, minute detail in here. Stories of her and her dad playing together. You know, when kids get really excited and tell you a story with all the most useless details possible?
This is a dumb
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that, that meme of just like, no, it cost $6.60 and I only paid $5 for it. I saved $1.60. I would have paid you $1.60 to not tell that story. It's a lot of that in here. But Alder, with your are more Arcana inclined, you do find yourself drawn to that small, keenly polished wooden box.
How big is it?
You'd probably say about the size of like a powder box or like an N64 controller. Go ahead and roll me an intelligence check.
Intelligence. Okay. A check, not a save, correct?
A check, not a save.
Okay. Well, I hope I got it out early. That's a crit fail.
You pick it up and it's odd. It has one button on each side. You see a single keyhole in the front. It's accented with brass and has unusual additions of like purple glass and colored crystals. As you kind of like hold the handle, you're trying to think of what this could possibly be, but without any sort of notes or additions. You're not really sure how this contraption works, how it could be a controller of anything, much less these soldiers.
As kind of Alder is talking to Isabella, he's going to walk over to that stack of notes after she had kind of called them out, and he'll pick them up and kind of start rifling through there and see if there's any relevant information that he can glean.
Yeah, give me an investigation check, Jove.
Gotcha. Ooh, 18.
18. Reading through these are a very detailed, very organized, very scholarly set of notes describing the use and activation of the controller. It appears that it requires an activation key that is described as being brass with little purple gems and stones on it. That it takes a little bit, but you gather that if one were to put in the inputs made from this with the key attached, that as an action, one could use this controller to give actions to the toy soldiers. There appears that any toy soldier made with this controller would use it. However, it also says that the toy soldiers will fall inert if removed from Falasenyu Manor.
Jove will kind of, as he's looking through the papers, see Alder kind of fiddling with the controller and kind of trying to be discreet and not draw too much attention away from Isabella doing her thing. He'll kind of go over to Alder and show him in the papers and kind of point out some of those. I don't know if there's any diagrams with the ring and everything to try and he'll say kind of some of the explanation under his breath to make him understand how to operate the controller.
Okay. And then reminder, do I need like a specific key here, or like does it seem that it would be the ring that I have? Or is that
It
not
doesn't.
explained in this?
It does not appear to be the ring that is the controller. That appears to work on the doors, but this is its own contraption. It's described as being kind of a brass key with purple accents on it. However, as you're looking around, it does not appear as if the key is in here.
Well, might as well take it with us, just in case we do stumble upon a key.
I would say so.
Could come in handy.
I would agree, my friend. Keep our friend over there busy and put that away.
Indeed, I will also say that the controller has a range of about 20 feet.
Okay. Good to know.
As you guys are kind of fiddling this around, as Isabella talks to you, Virgil, and continues telling you every minute detail about this, she does look over and say, "Ah, Daddy's control box. You know, the craziest thing happened. It used to have a key, and then no one ever believes me." And she looks both ways real quick. She says, "A raven stole the key."
A raven, you say?
Yeah, it flew in one day. You know, we kept having this raven come in. I thought it was cute, and so I'd follow it around. It would explore, and then I'd talk to it, and then it would make fun noises back. And one time, it flew in through the window over there, and I was showing all the cool stuff, and then it came over to the box, and I was trying to explain everything, and then it just took it and then flew off, and then I never saw it again.
Well, he might have just had to go somewhere in a hurry, but I bet he still wants to play, you know? We actually are friends with a number of ravens, so I think we should take this with us, because I think our raven friend is actually going to join us real soon. We might have a gift for your dad.
That's so nice! As everybody hears this, can I have all of you guys roll insight?
It is an 8.
A 2.
6.
Ooh.
Ravens with brass keys. I mean, what are the chances that it's Falar? I mean, where else have you seen ravens take stuff? And
You know.
elude you.
Technically, I didn't see any of that stuff. I was not in the building.
Of course.
Alder don't know.
She may be a ghost, but she's still a child at heart. But go ahead and add the controller to your inventory.
Putting N64 controller on my sheet.
Indeed. And I will say, without the key, it is possible to use the controller. However, it will require an intelligence check along with an action to use it correctly.
Gotcha.
Indeed. The notes also put in that incorrect inputs during this may cause the soldiers to behave erratically. But with that, as Isabella gleefully thinks about a raven companion joining this little party, she heads through the wall, going directly south, saying, "Let me show you my room," before walking straight through the southern wall.
Well, come on.
Might be something else of use in there. Let's go on.
You head south, coming back out, looking over the balcony to this once grand foyer. Foyer. I always forget which one it is. Anybody help me out with that one? Is it foyer or foyer?
I've heard it both.
I've heard it both, but
I've heard it.
foyer.
You know what?
I've heard-
Let's say foyer because we're in Barovia. That sounds more Barovian.
There you go.
Foyer.
Foyer. You head south to the next room, next to the workshop, and there you see another locked door, the same indent for the signet ring. May I make the assumption, Alder, that you unlock the door?
Indeed, yes.
Opening the door, you are struck by how clean and well kept this room is. No dust can be found. White furniture, pink frills, and dolls of all kinds are throughout the room. Shelves line the southern wall that are stuffed full of books and toys and dolls that have been carefully arranged. You hear the sound of a music box beginning to play, and Isabella, hopping on top of the bed like the 9-year-old child that she is, exclaims, "Do you like my room? Isn't it wonderful?"
Why, it looks lovely, little Isabella. What all do you play with in here?
And once again, she begins going over each and every object of this room. Every doll, every toy has a name. Every book, a story that her father has read to her. All of the bed, the decorations, all of it has its own childlike fascination of where it was gotten from and whether her mother or father gave it to her. It's like the workshop, but even more intense. Her mouth is going about 1,000,000 miles per minute. She is exclaiming, and you see her float up and point out things that are on taller shelves than she could reach were she alive. She is absolutely beaming, excited to show her newest friends all of her worldly possessions in one place. And the room is spotless. Whilst the rest of the manor is dilapidated, shows dust, rust, decay, this room is perfect, as if it has been cleaned and maintained every day for years upon years.
Did you mention a music box?
Indeed.
Was it just like open and going when we came in here?
As you entered the room, yes, it seemed to open and begin playing itself. It's a beautiful, soft melody. One that
As we entered
sounds...
and not when she entered.
You guys kind of entered in at the same time, but you would assume that is when that door opens. As the arcane lock on the door is unlocked with the ring, that the room begins to play. In fact, this very same lullaby that I would say does not require an insight check, but the very song is the same one that Isabella was playing on her harpsichord when you had your seance.
Would there be any way to tell if, like, this room is being cleaned through magical means, or if somebody is actually doing it themselves?
Roll an Arcana check.
A 9.
Well, Jove, this whole magical thing is sometimes beyond your personal purview. You're not entirely sure. While many parts of this house do seem to be suffused with magic, excuse me, knowing Glovia's penchant for magic and the mechanical, it could be magic, it could be um, mechanized servants, or it could much be Glovia herself, painstakingly cleaning her daughter's room and keeping it perfect for her many years after her own death. As if she's expecting her to return.
Yeah, is the bed made, or is it
Oh, yeah.
still...
Oh,
okay, it is.
Everything here is perfect. This would be any Barovian child, especially a young girl's, like, fantasy bedroom. It's got, like, the big canopy bed and has the big windows that open up and overlook the Barovian woods. It's a princess's room. And no expense or item or furniture is a touch out of place. It could not be more perfect.
Well, it's a real pretty room here, Isabel. Are you the one that takes care of it?
Nope. I never have to clean. As she kind of smiles that smug, spoiled child smile.
Yeah, well, I guess I can't relate to not having to make my own bed per se.
No, that makes two
You
of
should
us,
just
so,
have your servants do it.
It's true.
Well,
Do that.
once upon a time I had a little bit of that, but that unfortunately is gone out here. A shame, really.
Oh, are you a lord from where you're at? Do you live a big manor too?
I was something of that back where I first came from. Made a pretty good name. Had a nice estate. Kind of reminds me of this a little bit. Although I don't think we had a stage or anything like that. Just a place where people would come and drink and smoke cigars, really. But
Ooh, cigars are gross.
yeah, they're definitely not something for a little lady of the house, I would say.
I agree. And as you're saying this, Jove and Alder, you find yourselves nostalgic for the moment. As you think back to Flan, to the beautiful, weeping willow covered, river bent jewel upon the Moonsea. Although your heart pangs for the comforts you once had. Not just the magic, but the companionship, the home that you've never had. Jove, you think of the splendor, the strength of the Lost and Found compound as you were visiting Flan, and as much of those memories warm you for the moments of your former travels, they're also tinged with poison. The green mists, Borg Shorax, the people you lost on that day, the imprisonment you suffered, Jove, the caged animals that you were on that day, and the good people that have had to pay the price by your hand and others. You feel your throats grow tight. The smile that you saved for Isabella curdles. As Alder and Jove, you look at each other, and there's just a little bit of shared trauma between the two of you. As the warmth
Over trauma.
turns noxious.
And he'll kind of pull Joe aside and be like, unless there's anything you want to look for here, I kind of want to get out.
We're out there with you, brother. Let's get on with this.
Isabella
Well,
sees the two of you turn towards the door. The fun of the moment folding into the next as she sees you and goes, "Oh, oh, it's time for the theater. I want to show you my new favorite toy." As she makes a beeline to the southern wall once again.
Well, Virgil, do you want to see the toy? In quotes. It
Yes.
says, "All right, big guy, you might be up on this one."
Well, I assume that we're all up, but let's go.
Well, yes, but I got a bad feeling about what this toy is specifically.
You head out of Isabella's room. Follow the gilded sign that says theater. You go up to the door and once again place the signet ring within, and you see that faint pulse of light as the door opens. Deep red cloths line the walls. You see several rows of chairs line the length of the room, each one containing a marionette puppet or doll. You see a small stage has been erected in the southeast corner of the room. Isabella sits at the front row and claps her hands as soon as you all enter, and the curtains are pulled back. You see a man, unconscious or dead, you're not sure, which hangs limp from many strings with hooks that have been placed into his skin to mimic a very macabre marionette. He has small, bleeding wounds all over his body, the blood pooling on the stage under him. The strings are being manipulated by 4 toy soldiers at the back of the stage who are tugging on the strands to make the man do an eerie dance. Isabella and all the dolls are laughing and enjoying this grisly program as she continues to clap to no music. And you hear the small, some wooden, some mechanical, some porcelain, clapping. All of it's out of time, out of sync, and out of rhythm.
Can Jove move closer and see if he, recognizes the man from the village at any point?
You begin walking forward, straight through the middle, between these rows of chairs, and as you get towards the first row, Jove, all the doll heads begin to turn in unison towards you. As you get closer and closer, go ahead and roll me an insight check.
10.
10. You're not sure if you recognize this man, but what you do recognize is the clearly Orsnu dark clothing. The same mix of dark browns and grays that most of the village. He's clearly from Orsnu and still bleeding.
Yeah, does he smell like death? Like, is any indication that he's still alive, or is it pretty nasty smelling in here?
Go ahead and roll me. Let's have this be a medicine check based off your wisdom.
Gotcha. Ooh, not super good. That's an 8.
This whole place smells of death, Jove. From the midnight garden to the ballroom below. And as you've moved on to the second floor, the smell of death and experimentation, a noxious blend of vaguely alchemical and necrotic, acrid smell hits your nose. You're not sure if he's dead or alive, but what he is very fresh compared to all the other death you've seen in here. This room has certainly been used recently by not just Isabella and her dolls. And as you enter about halfway through the room, Jove, you see that all but the front row of dolls and Isabella have turned, and they all look at you. Even the toy soldiers puppeteering this man's body are fixated on you.
Isabella, is this your friend or your toy?
It's the best toy I've had in forever! And she claps quickly, and you can see that the man is pulled to attention by the toy soldiers and gives a awful bow as his whole body slumps forward. And he's pulled back, and you can see as the hooks pull into him, he is still bleeding.
Sorry, Isabella, but that's no toy. That's a man. Flesh and blood, like me and my two friends here. Toys are for playing with, but people are for talking to and sharing a meal with. Don't you think?
But look! And she floats up over to him and has the puppets pull him back, and he doesn't talk, he doesn't eat, he's not like you guys. Now stop ruining the show and come join me. She floats back to her seat.
I go to sit next to her.
You sit next to her, all the dolls fixated. You see that they are beginning to stand up, but as soon as Virgil takes his seat, they return their attention to you, Jove, who is still standing in the aisle. Isabella beams to you, Virgil, and says, "Clap with me," and it's an impossible, there's no rhythm to it. It's not like in 4/4 time. It's erratic and strange, and as she continues to clap, the legs of this man are pulled up and does kind of this strange high knees.
I'm gonna do like silent claps, so if you were to look at me, it would look like I was playing along, but I'm not actually making any noise.
Yeah, give me a performance check.
Crit fail for a 3.
Oh.
Thunderclap.
You go to silently clap, and your big hands come together with a whole just thunderous clap out of it in there, and Isabella begins to giggle. However, all the dolls, the soldiers, all begin to look at you, Virgil. You feel a tenseness, like a dozen or so coils are being condensed, preparing to swing, preparing to leap forward. Jove, you feel the hairs on your back of your neck begin to stand up. Alder, as Virgil has taken a seat next to Isabella, as Jove stands in the middle of the room, what do you do in this moment? As you see this macabre scene beginning to play out, as you see the various dolls and soldiers all tensing.
Alder would continue along with the situation, and he will go and take a seat at the row or the section that Virgil and Isabel are at.
You join in, and you feel the chairs begin to creak. They are old. They're straining under the actual real weight of living people using this room. Alder, go ahead and roll me a performance check as well.
Will do. For performance, that's a 10.
You sit down and you begin pantomiming with Virgil. The dolls seem to accept your performance, and after they all begin to turn towards you, Jove. Once again, a dozen or so of these blank, static faces all look to you. And as you look back towards the man in this macabre show, you see his eyes flicker open for just a moment, before his head droops back down.
He is going to approach the front of the stage. So he's going to go down kind of that center aisle. And he'll go to take his seat next to Virgil. But really what he's wanting to do is see if he can get a better view of where these... is it just the toy soldiers that are like pulling on the strings? Are they up in the rafters at all, or are they like?
No, they're on stage.
They're on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And
you could see that there are 4 toy soldiers who are at like the very back of the stage. Each one has control of each one of the limbs. One controls each leg, one controls each arm. And as they move in tandem and sometimes moving in... Imagine that odd dance Squidward does when he's on stage, where the limbs move out of concert. You know, one goes up, one goes down. He's made to do a strange amount of the splits in some places. At times, he's not even touching the stage as he is hoisted into the air.
yeah, so is it like those like old school puppets that have like the cross like wood with all of the strings coming down and they're like articulating from top down? Or
No,
okay.
Think that they are like actual lines strung over a bar to give them their tautness.
Gotcha.
And that they are moving on stage left to right and pulling up and down to make this happen. It's not well coordinated. It's awful. It's terrible to watch this man be turned into a potentially living marionette. It is
Gotcha.
all of the... Only a child could think that this is entertainment. One who no longer has to worry about the living.
As Jove kind of takes his seat next to Virgil, or whatever the far side, most far away from Isabella is, whether that is Virgil or Alder,
I'd say it'll be like Isabella, Virgil, Alder, yourself, Jove.
Perfect. Then he'll kind of lean into Alder and whisper under his breath and say, "That man's alive up there. I don't know how much longer I can sit. Bide my time." And then he'll just kind of put his head in his left hand and kind of stare forward.
I'm going to attempt to clap my hands while imagining the toy soldiers like letting go of the strings and dancing with themselves and doing like a waltz with the toy soldier next to them and kind of clapping to a waltz beat. Go ahead and give me another
performance check.
8.
8. You're successful in pantomiming the clapping, and as you wish for this outcome, the soldiers do not begin a waltz. They seem to continue their macabre dance. The minutes stretch by. The performance continues with no seeming signs of stopping. As Illabella gleefully claps and says, "It's so much better with friends by your side." Seemingly uncaring at the suffering of this man in front of her.
How far away are they on the stage?
The man is pretty central stage, and you guys are up front, so you'd say probably only 10, maybe 15 feet away. You are in full view of this spectacle.
And I imagine the puppets that are controlling this, they are similar to what is in the workshop.
You would say exactly like the ones in the workshop.
All
That might be. Sorry,
go ahead. No, you go ahead.
He was just gonna kind of whisper, and you can tell like Jove, his like leg is like, he looks antsy, and he'll kind of lean back over into Alder and say, maybe try and give that little controller or whatever a go and see if we can. I don't know. I just hate to watch a man die like this.
Alder, do you attempt to use the controller?
Alder will grab the controller, and he'll lean into Jove and say, "I'll give it one shot, but if it doesn't go according to plan, I'm not putting my neck out for it." And Alder will attempt to take control of the puppets that are on the stage with it.
They are well within range. Go ahead and roll me an intelligence check.
Okay. That's a 11.
An 11. What action do you control the soldiers to do?
So
As you tap the sides of the box as best as you can remember from the notes you've received.
So remind me. So the soldiers right now, they're like puppeteering this person, like they're moving them around.
Yes.
He would control them to essentially to let go of the person, and then to take a bow as if they are like kind of like ending the show essentially.
You send the action through. The soldiers, not just on stage, but the two remaining on this kind of front row with you, all snap to attention. The man's body is allowed to finally hit the floor as he hits with a loud thud. Isabella lets out a "aww" of disappointment as all the soldiers, the two in the front row, turn to you all, the four about face, and they all bow.
Jove will kind of start clapping and say, "Well, that's quite the show there, Isabella. Mind if I take a look at your toy up there?
And you can see, you look over at Isabella, and she crosses her arms, sticks out a bottom lip, and says, "That's too soon. I never get my show." And you see the lip begins to quiver. A big
Isabella, do you want to
fake tear begins to roll down.
Do you want to take me back to your room and show me some more of your toys in there? We can finish the show on our own terms.
Okay. And she gets up and like stomps through the wall. And as
Yeah,
she,
I'll run to the other room.
you run out of the room, and as Virgil and Isabella leave, the toy soldiers stand in their bowed possession. But left alone without Isabella, the dolls begin to shake violently. Their porcelain features static, but they shake aggressively before they begin to converge upon the two living men in this room. Can I have everybody roll initiative? And Virgil, would you roll me a perception check? Okay, very different rolls from last week.
Ah, damn it. Passive 14.
Passive 14.
And I have
Oh,
to use
that's-
my good roll on initiative.
Just fine. Because as you enter Isabella's room, a number of dolls on her shelves begin to shake violently. And as they all... Does everybody remember the movie Toy Soldiers?
Yes.
Why, of course.
Remember the scene where all the Barbie dolls begin to attack the love interest in that movie? Guess what?
Yes.
Virgil, you are said love interests, as the various Victorian-style dolls fall from the shelves, pick themselves up, and begin to swarm. It's... Sometimes you guys do things backwards, and sometimes you do them just right. Awesome. Okay, where are all my dolls? Oh, yes, that's on the the other page of initiatives. Dicky. That's right, such schools, such mimics. Oh, dear. Gotcha. So. No. We begin with Virgil. You see this, what I will use its official term as, this swarm of dolls. A number of them, all of them tiny constructs compared to your large physique. They don't appear to be holding any sorts of weapons. But suddenly, you see the better part of 24 of these dolls all coalesce together and begin to head towards you in a swarm. What do you do?
24. How big are they?
Tiny. They are children's toys. Some a little larger than others, probably standing at, think like American Girl dolls, like 1.5 feet tall. Some actual Barbie size to where they're only, 10 inches tall at most. All various shades of porcelain, finely crafted. They're a little noble lady's toys.
Um, are they on a rug, perchance?
I like where your head's at, so I'll say yes. They
Uh,
are indeed on a rug.
Yeah. So for my first move, I'm gonna send a wave down the rug and just fling them to the other side of the room.
Go
That way
ahead
they're on-
and roll me an athletics check for this one as you roll out the rug.
19.
19, that is more than enough as you flick them upwards off of this rug. Let me have the swarm make a dexterity saving throw against a DC of 19. Oh, not even close. Yes, you pull the rug up from underneath them and knock them all prone.
Sweet. Then I will. I guess I'll use my bonus action to second wind,
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll your second wind.
and now I'm at max.
All
Exactly
right.
what I need.
Any movement from you?
I'll just get in the doorway and just post up.
Gotcha. Audience, for everybody who would like to know, Virgil is right at the entranceway of number 2, while Alder and Jove are in the front row of area number 3. Me too, Ev. All right. Moving down from Virgil's turn is Jove.
So I've
You
got
can
the
see-
4 on this. Sorry, you got.
Yes. To set the stage, literally, there are the 4 soldiers on stage who are currently still under the last command of Alder, who are bowing. There are the 2 soldiers at each end of the front row that are also bowing towards you. On the rows behind you, on both sides, are a swarm of these dolls. You would assume that there's, once again, probably about 24 on each side, consisting of 2 swarms.
2 swarms behind us. Got 2 dolls that are kind of on our direct sides.
Yes,
I guess-
specifically toy soldiers at the very
Toy
end of each
soldiers.
row, the same as the 4 toy soldiers on stage. They are, while the dolls are porcelain, the toy soldiers are wooden.
Gotcha. Okay, then Jove and Alder are sitting right next to each other, so Jove would just get up, get his Electrum Spear and the Whip of Warning, and go to the one on his side, the toy soldier that is at the end of the row. Wait, is it still under the bow command? Sorry, or is it
Indeed,
just the stage?
all of the toy
Okay.
soldiers are in the bow command. They are all currently under the effects of the controller.
Okay, well then, if the dolls are looking more hostile, he will go over to attack one of the swarms of dolls. He will do so by using his action to use the Electrum Spear. Nice. That is for a 23 to hit.
Would you imagine that's not enough? Just kidding. Go ahead.
Oh. For max damage of 8 piercing.
A piercing. Gotcha.
Am I having like a special like more difficulty with this piercing weapon against this swarm, or is Jove feeling pretty masterful and applying damage even with a pointy thing against a swarm?
You drive the Electrum Spear forward, and indeed one of these dolls is outright destroyed. However, as it pierces deeper into the swarm, you do feel a certain resistance against you. One out of the dozens of these dolls is simply just not enough.
he'll kind of note that in his mind as he follows that up with a bonus action whip of warning attack.
Whip.
That is not as nice. That is only a 9.
9. A 9 is not going to do. As the whip goes across, you see it make contact, but the swarm simply shrugs it off.
Then, yeah, Jove will kind of position himself alongside this, so he's not like in the like rows of chairs. He wants to be more closer to the aisle, if that's possible.
Yeah, totally.
And he will end his turn there.
You got it. That takes us to the toy soldiers. They all move on the same initiative. They are currently being told to bow, so they will continue to bow as their action. We jump down. It is then the swarm's turn, as they are going to head towards you, Jove. They occupy your same space as they swarm over you, and will begin a strangle attack. Jove, will a 17 hit?
Indeed it does.
Jove, you take... -1 to the damage. That seems wild. Alright. My fucking d8s. Okay. You take 4 points of bludgeoning damage. You are currently grappled. And as you are grappled, they crawl up onto you, Jove, your shorter stature doing you no favors in this moment, as they begin to strangle you. You are currently strangled. You are able to stay conscious up to minutes equal to your constitution bonus. So what is your constitution score currently?
I have an 18 for +4.
18.
Wow.
You currently have 4 minutes to get out of this strangle, lest they murder you. So you see them begin to squeeze upon your neck. However, you are no mere halfling, but a stout one, with the blessings of the belted dwarven kind. A weaker creature would begin to immediately panic, but whilst you are receiving no new breath, you've had to hold your breath for longer periods of time. But that is going to be the swarm's turn as we go down to Alder.
Yeah, Alder will go ahead and move back towards Jove, and he will use his action on the controller to give a command to these swarms that are near Jove. Do you want me to say the command, or do you want me to roll for the in check first?
Go ahead and roll.
Okay. That is for a 17.
Absolutely. What is the command?
The command is for each of the swarms, all dolls, to immediately fall prone on the ground. Just lifelessly fall prone.
Heard. You send out that command. Anything else with your action?
Cause that,
Or I should
right
say,
now,
that is your action.
That is
so.
my action, yes. I do not have any bonus actions, but Alder will move to be near Jove, I will say. I understand that also giving that action will probably give it up on the toy soldiers. That is fine.
Yep.
Yep.
You are using what knowledge you have this time. So, we move down to the swarm in the room with sweet Virgil. Since they're in the middle of the room, they use half their movement to get up, and then have to dash over to get to you, Virgil, effectively not using their turn. As they occupy your space. As they, from various forms, pick themselves up and begin to dash over to you, occupying your same space. We return back to Virgil. Wait, hold on. There it is. There's one more. It is the second swarm inside the theater, as it is going to go over to you, Alder. And attempt that same move. Alder does a 13 hit.
A 13, you said?
Yes.
That... I believe that meets, right? Because mage armor is just +2.
Let me look at mage armor. It's been a while.
I know, it's been a second for me too. I think it's just
Armor
+2.
was 13.
Wait,
It's
is it 13 plus dex?
AC 13 plus Dex modifier.
Oh, then it's just short.
You feel these dolls begin to climb up on you, begin to grip onto you, but you feel your magical armor, that charcoal-like exterior that you bring out, hardens, and does not let them squeeze past the armor itself. While they are currently on you, you are not being strangled. Now we go back to Virgil.
I hear a kerfuffle from the other room.
Indeed.
I will dash in there.
They're going to take an opportunity of attack on you.
Sure.
16 won't do. I already know.
Yeah.
You just shake off the dolls from your space and leave back into the other room.
So where does the dash get me?
A dash, you have a movement speed of 60, correct?
With a dash, yeah.
You have more than enough movement to make it back to your companions.
Okay, but not with normal movement, right?
Not with normal movement. With the dash, totally.
Okay. So I will dash to them. And the toy soldiers are still bowed on stage.
Indeed.
And Alder isn't looking bad, but Jove is.
Yes, Jove currently is completely swarmed by these dolls. They are linking together like a series of ants, and he's currently grappled and being strangled. Alder, you can see his magical armor is pulsating with those magical flames of his, and it seems to be protecting him effectively.
And I'm going to use a Minotaur feature and do a Goring Rush. Immediately after I use the dash action on my turn and move at least 20 feet, I can make a melee attack as a bonus action with my horns.
All right. Are you attacking the swarm on Alder or Jove?
On Jove.
You got it.
And
Go
then
ahead and make your
I'm gonna
attack.
swipe in and try and just like smack as many off as I can. 15.
15 will hit.
Yeah, I don't need to use any of my superiority dice or anything. Hey, max damage. 9 Yes, piercing. 9 piercing.
Got it. Yes, you knock a number of these dolls off. You can see them shatter to the sides. However, they are still grappling Jove.
Well, that's movement, action, bonus action.
Perfect.
And I just try and position myself between the two of them as best I can, or adjacent to both of them.
Yeah, you guys make a Triforce symbol with the three of you. We move on over to Jove.
So I have 3 more rounds before I just straight up die from suffocation.
No, you have
You have
40.
39 more rounds.
39.
Yeah,
Well,
39
with the
more
extra.
Okay.
Or minutes, not rounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Holy shit. Okay.
Yes, no, they give you plenty of room on the strangulation. And we could almost say, Jove, your fantastic dwarven enhanced beard is giving you plenty of extra cushion room. They've got to squeeze through the beard, through your own thick neck. You know, you can feel the pressure, you can feel the dozens of, hands all striking your person during this. But you feel still very conscious.
That.
However,
In
you
that
are
case-
grappled.
I am grappled. And Jove is
Well,
actually gonna.
Aren't
Oh.
they aren't they prone now?
No. That was the one that was in Isabella's room. There are 3 swarms. Two in the theater with you guys. One
think
that
he's talking
was
about
Well, I took
controller.
control of one
Controller.
though with the controller.
you
didn't I?
used a controller action.
Mhm.
However,
Mm-hmm.
you'll see what happens when we get there.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes,
I'm
you
just
put the
making sure.
command for all the dolls, specifically the dolls, to fall prone. None of the
Yes.
dolls seem to have fallen prone.
I think I understand now. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Jove is gonna go, fishing for something that he actually has never brought out in the campaign, but he's going to reach for his belaying pin that he has
Interesting.
from his sailor background. As he's feeling all these things crawling over him, he'll just drop the electrum spear. He's not going to be able to poke him off. He'll get the belaying pin, and he will make a strike with that, which counts as a club, so that is a D4.
Gotcha.
And I'm just rolling normal, right, with grapple. It's just I can't move.
Yep, your movement speed is 0 right now. And at the end of the turn, we'll make the DC to see if you can break it.
Wondrous. Okay. There's a reason he hasn't brought it out, because that was an 8.
Not gonna do. It's hard to strike these off of you without basically hitting yourself in the neck with your own strength. It's awkward. You need to get these things off you first.
Speaking of awkward, he is going to use his bonus action. He's trying to whip this whip, but I imagine it's more of just like his hand, like just moving around this swarm and just almost more swatting them through the air than the actual whip crack doing anything. But he's going to do his damnedest. Oh, and it's not going to be enough. Yeah, that's even actually worse than the belaying pin. So
Yes, it's an odd sensation for you, Jove, as you are sworn by creatures tinier than yourselves. You're used to fighting much larger opponents. You're always the smaller guy, but you're like Gulliver's Travels. You're like, how do I deal with this? Is this what it's like fighting me?
yeah, having exhausted his options, he will
Go ahead and make a athletics or acrobatics check.
We'll make that athletics for a 16.
That'll do. As you are able to use, we'll say you use your strikes instead to do damage to get them off of you. You are no longer grappled.
Beautiful.
However, that is the end of the turn. We'll go to the toy soldiers. And I'm sure we saw this one coming. All the toy soldiers immediately go prone. That is their action. We'll go to the first swarm. Virgil, you've run... Or the first swarm is actually on Jove. So, they're going to attempt once again to strangle you, Jove. Well,
Is that an
16
attack
do.
roll?
It is an attack roll.
Guess who has Sentinel? It's me.
Go ahead and make your
16 does
attack.
hit.
16 does hit. All right. You're grappled once again. But Virgil, go ahead and do your move first.
16.
16 will hit.
6 silvered piercing.
Silver piercing. You got it. You see, about half of the dolls now have been strewn about or destroyed from various methods. Jove, that is max damage of 8 minus 1 for 7 points of bludgeoning. And you are once again grappled.
Gotcha.
Then it is Alder.
Okay, so the one that the group that was on me are prone right now then, right?
They are not. The toy soldiers seem to be under your control, but the dolls do not seem to be under your control.
Oh.
Indeed.
I see now. Okay.
Yes, you've watched, expecting the dolls to fall. Instead, you hear the 6 thuds of the toy soldiers all immediately going prone.
That makes a lot more sense. Um, he then, okay, new action. We will use the controller. We will try using the controller one more time,
Indeed, intelligence check, please.
of course. That is for a 14.
14. What is the action you desire?
The action I desire is for the toy soldiers to attack the dolls, please.
The command is sent out. Any bonus action or movement from your older?
He will stay near Jove and Virgil right now, continuing the Triforce. But yes, he
Indeed.
does give out the new action to the toy soldiers.
The Triforce remains. The soldiers received their new orders as you utilize the controller. We'll then go down to the swarm on you, Alder, and since it's those turns, the swarm in the room will use its action to get back to you, Virgil, but of course they have to use their dash action to get to you. As they occupy your space, the other is going to make it. Oh dear. That's the crit fail. Alright, Alder, you're safe. Back to the top. Virgil. Set the stage now. All 3 of the swarms have converged, each one occupying the space of one of our adventurers. Jove currently being strangled. Alder's magical armor protecting him. And finally, this final swarm has followed you from Isabella's room, but has yet to take their attack action against you, Virgil. It is now your move.
Alright. I'm going to smack the ones on Jove.
Go for it!
Hey, that'll do. 23.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Oh, that's 11 silver piercing.
You watch as 2/3 of this swarm have seemingly been destroyed with these blows, and as they do, Jove, you can feel them drop off of your neck as they try to reamass themselves after taking so much damage. You are no longer grappled.
And then with the swarm, I want to kind of skin this as I'm going to do my hammering horns after I hit with a melee attack. I can try and push the target. I'm going to kind of like lower my horns to the ground, like sweep them, kind of like almost a golf swing, and just kind of just shove them 10 feet away from me.
You got it. The ones on Jove or the ones on you?
The ones on Jove.
Gotcha. Strength save? Would you imagine these dolls are not particularly strong?
What?
12?
Yeah, no, it's a 13.
Unfortunate.
So yeah, they get swept by my horns and are pushed back 10 feet.
Jove, they are no longer within sharing your space. You are free and clear of the dolls for the moment.
That's my turn.
Jove, it's all you, baby. 10 feet slammed up against the stage is the swarm of dolls that were attacking you, and then you see both of your companions are littered with these swarms of dolls. Also, just like out of character, one of the most horrifying moments of my childhood was watching that Barbie scene in Toy Soldiers. So, to 7-year-old Dom, 7-year-old Dom, here's your fucking nightmare.
That's hilarious. Well, yeah, Jove did not like that feeling, and he is going to close the space. He'll still use the club, feeling that this is the best weapon for the job right now. We'll go ahead and use an action to
All right.
swing the belaying pin.
Indeed. You are going to take one opportunity of attack as you move out of there. As one this. Nope. Don't worry about it. Not
This
even
is for
close.
A 22 to hit.
More than enough.
That will be for 5 bludgeoning,
You got it.
and then we'll follow it up with the bonus action whip.
Whip.
The whip. That is for 10.
10 meets beats.
Oh hell yeah! And that is going to be for 4 slashing.
Gotcha. Only about a half dozen or so of these dolls remain. The swarm is losing its power. Anything else from you, Jove?
No.
Perfect.
That'll be his turn.
Yo, the love interest was played by Kirsten Dunst. What?
Yeah. That was one of my thoughts when watching Spider-Man later that same year. I'm just like, not the girl I get from... I remember asking my dad specifically, I'm like, isn't Mary Jane from Toy Soldier? So he went, yeah, buddy. Now, shh, and watch Spider-Man. It's like, okay.
I just posted the video in Haunted Memes if anybody was looking for reference.
Hey, audience, do you want to take a look at that real quick? I know I do. Yeah, that's the one. Not going to play this because I'm going to get copyright striked immediately, but, you know.
Yeah.
But
There's
now
a
you all
link for
know.
ya. Yeah, you
there's-
can show the link.
There you go. You see that? That's the scene I'm talking about. That was nightmare fuel for a much younger
If
Dom.
you perhaps wanted to open your own tab, audience, and search a certain YouTube video. Small
Right.
Soldiers 7 out of 10 movie clip, I always hated these things, would be what you do.
Yeah, there you go. You're welcome, audience. Sharing my childhood trauma. And bring us closer
I-
together.
Totally forgot about this scene. until
Yeah,
just
and-
now.
And it's fucking terrifying. It's awful. The fucking Barbie stab her with a pair of scissors. I hated it.
Mhm.
So I never ran with scissors as a kid, alright? I know what they can do to people. The 6 toy soldiers, hearing the commands, use half their movement speed to stand up. And then we'll use the rest of their 15 feet of movement, which is luckily plenty for them, as they descend upon the swarms. We'll have the 4 up fronts all make their attack together against the one with you, Jove. As you see, the soldiers march, perfect posture, choo, 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 and all pull tiny little daggers out. I'll make these 4 all make their attack as one big roll. That is, what is that? Alright, that's 2 misses and 2 hits. Let's roll their damage. Max. Min. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. But with toy soldiers, that is going to be... That's 5 plus 2. Halved. How do I want to do this? As the toy
How
soldiers.
do you want to do this?
I think the toy soldiers just go in a straight line like a lawnmower going over grass, and between their knife strikes and their feet, just crush the rest of that swarm before ending their movement right there and standing at attention, waiting once again for their new orders. The 2 on the sides come on over, and each will take a strike against the 2 remaining swarms, one on Alder, one on Virgil.
The one on Alder has disadvantage.
They are attacking the dolls.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
This is the soldiers attacking the dolls.
I
right
thought it was the swarm attacking Alder.
Nope, these are the soldiers attacking the dolls, so may I assume you don't give them disadvantage?
No, no.
Sick. Alright. The attack for the swarm on that is a 12, that'll do. So it's a success. The other one's one higher for a 13. Both the toy soldiers connect with the swarms at your feet. It's going to be 4 damage and 3 damage. As they make their strike downwards, they once again go into at attention phase and begin waiting their next order. We'll drop on down from them. That swarm is destroyed. Whoop. So it's Older's move. As you see your toy soldiers effectively destroy one of the swarms and come to join you, then stand at attention, waiting for the next order.
He will give the order for them to destroy the remaining dolls. So we'll roll for it.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, that's only a 6.
6. They receive your action to destroy.
Yep. That's it for Alder.
All right. That brings us to the 2 remaining swarms, Alder and Virgil. You're both taking an attack.
The one on Alder has disadvantage.
Indeed. That's when you use it. Good on you. Oh my god, that knocks it down to a crit fail on their part. So that will not hit. Well done. And then on Verge, just a flat roll on that. Oh, that's a 7. All right.
No.
Yeah, I had a sneaking suspicion.
Does a 7 hit player?
Player, does a 7 hit your AC?
Does it though?
Does it though?
Yes, I have -5 dex. You got me.
It's like playing Baldur's Gate last night, and I rolled a 44 on Persuasion with my Paladin. DM, does a 44 do?
I think you could actually win some of you're not intended to win these rolls at the end of the game with that, like...
Yeah, illithid powers. Fucking broken.
Yeah, they are. Oh, yeah, they are.
Yeah. I have no more slots for my evil paladin. I'm completely chock full of parasites.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, baby,
Hell
yeah. Hell yeah, Batman. Speaking of Batman, let's talk about Hornman, because it's Virgil.
It's the me one.
The Verge.
We're on the verge.
I'm going to... if I can attack the swarm on Alder without being attacked by the swarm that's on me.
Since they're sharing your space and you're right next to Alder, you don't have to move to make that attack. So yes.
Yeah, so I'll swing on the one on Alder. 19.
19 will hit.
Oh. Max damage for 11 silvered piercing again.
Yeah, slamming into these. Well, I shouldn't say boys because they're all mostly feminine dolls. On these lady dolls.
And then they need to make another strength save.
That is a -1 for 1.
Nice. Yeah, so they get flung 10 feet back from me.
Perfect. Jove, you receive the swarm that is pushed 10 feet back as you and the soldiers receive the brunt of this swarm as they are pushed 10 feet backwards. But Alder, you're free and clear of the swarm.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and I'll just position myself as much in between. Hold on, let me roll. It's a high number. I'm still gonna be kind of wary of these soldiers, as clearly nothing in this house is meant to help us, so you never know what's gonna happen. So I will try and get myself between him and the soldiers and the swarms, just kind of make an Alder on the outside of anything that happens.
Indeed, as you do put yourself in between the most amount of the swarms and the soldiers, you will take 1 opportunity of attack from the swarm you're leaving, since it's sharing your space. Does it 18 do?
Nope.
You have no one to blame but yourself, DM.
I think that one is purely because of the Ring of Protection, because isn't that...
That is entirely because of the Ring of Protection,
Yes.
which is still fair. I don't feel bad about it because Jove's got a belt of dwarven kind. Like,
I was gonna say it's not that bad.
no, it's
just
not.
really good on your tank.
Yeah, and man, being in these early levels up, my enemies don't hit as hard as you guys do in some cases. But tis you would hope a swarm of dolls would be less effective against a full armored minotaur. But that brings us to Jove.
Okay, so there's no longer the swarm by me, so there's the one
There wasn't until Virgil
Oh,
pushed the 10 feet and threw another swarm at you.
I took Alder's dolls and I said, these are yours now.
Right. Okay, and then do I have toy soldiers then to my back?
Yes.
Or gotcha. Yeah.
Yes.
So if I'm visualizing this correctly, would I be able to like strafe around the swarm, and then my back would be to where the dolls came from, i.e. my companions? Do I have that right?
You could do that by simply just turning around. You don't need any movement. The dolls are in your space, since they can share a space with other creatures. So if you want to have your back to your companions, you simply need to face the stage.
Mom said it's your turn with the dolls.
Okay, that's the main thing. I don't want to have my back to the stage. That's what I'm trying to communicate.
You turn
So
around,
I
you
will-
face the 4 toy soldiers, and littered around your ankles and up to your thighs/hips, because of how short you are the swarm of dolls.
Then I'm gonna swing away, Johnny, with my club. That is a 16.
That'll hit.
And that is going to be for bludgeoning.
Heard.
And then using that bonus action, whip. And that is going to miss with a 9.
That does indeed miss.
Cool. Then I will stand firm against these nasty dolls and hope that these toy soldiers come to help me again. That would be nice.
The toy soldiers activate. And with a not fantastic input, they destroy whatever is immediately in front of them. There are the 2 toy soldiers, one next to Alder, the other one next to the swarms. The one that was attacking the swarm that was on Virgil continues its action. Yep, that'll do. That meets beats. They're going to take 5 points of piercing. Down. One of the toy soldiers is now going to attack you, Alder. That's only a 12. Oh.
Does
Oh,
not.
I said it.
It's same thing twice. 12 and 12. Does not hit. And then the 4 toy soldiers that are in front of Jove. Since the dolls are there, 2 of them will attack the dolls, and 2 of them will attack you.
Who's you?
That's going to be Jove. All right, so the attacks on the dolls, one is a crit fail, the other's a nat 20. The attacks on Jove, one is an 11, the other is an 18.
That hit.
All right, that is max damage, which is the d4 for minimum. Okay, so that's... Ha! Nice. I see you, Mikey. That one will take the max. 12. And then Jove, you are taking, from a very tana dagger, you will take 3 points of piercing.
3, you say?
3 indeed. As a very, very tiny knife stabs into your shin. Yeah, definitely hurts. Not the worst thing you've ever dealt with, but a bit surprising. It then moves us down to Alder. As after finishing, all the toy soldiers once again go to attention.
He will try once more to give them the command to specifically attack the dolls.
Putting in the same commands.
That's not much better. That is only a 7.
Some would say worse.
Some would say worse.
Find
They
my
receive
numbers.
they receive the command to attack the.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. All
they
right.
got it. They got
Yeah,
it.
they got it. They got this. They got this.
My toll soldiers are fucking rad. +1 to the DM. All right. Back to the remaining swarms. One attack on Jove. The other will begin its attack on Alder, since you're closer. That's a 50-50 on Alder and Virgil. Let's roll for it. Whoa, that's crazy how that dice landed. How'd that not fall off the desk? Wild. Okie dokie. They're actually gonna move and attack Virgil. So this first one will go against you. That's a 17.
Nope.
The second one will go against Jove. That's a 9.
That's a miss.
All right. Back to it, Virgil.
Okay. So I'm not as concerned with the Barbies as I am as toy soldiers now. One of the soldiers went to attack Alder.
Indeed, the one that's by his ankles.
So I'm going to return the favor.
Go for it. Go ahead and make an attack. No need to move.
That is a 17.
That'll hit.
And I'm going to use a superiority die to do a maneuvering strike. That was cool. A maneuvering attack. And I'm gonna tell Alder to get some distance. So specifically, he doesn't provoke opportunity attacks from the target that I hit. So if there's anything else
Perfect.
near me that could get an opportunity attack, and he uses his movement in this maneuvering attack, he can be attacked by them.
Gotcha. Go ahead and roll damage for the toy soldier.
12 silver piercing.
You shatter this wooden toy soldier in one hit. As it splinters into 100 pieces.
So Alder, you may use your reaction to move, or you can stay still if you are afraid of taking opportunity.
Because it was only I don't.
The only thing
provoke.
that my maneuvering thing protects you from is the dead thing.
Yeah, the one that's now dead.
So I'm assuming that the dolls that are sharing my space since I am next to you would be able to.
Correctamundo.
Yeah, he will herd, but stays.
Alright. Then, we move it down to Jove.
Yeah, he didn't like getting stabbed, but he's still gonna focus on this swarm and reach back with the club. That is going to be for a 15. And 3 bludgeoning.
Gotcha.
We'll go ahead and then use the bonus action whip. For a 13.
That'll hit.
That is for 2 slashing.
Got it. Appears as about 2/3 of the swarm of dolls around you, Jove, have been destroyed.
Gotcha. Then he will stay there for me. Yeah, he's gonna stay.
Alright, the toy soldier next to you, Virgil, will attack the swarm. So it has to attack the swarm before it gets to you. And that's not going to do, as it will miss the swarm by your feet. And then the 4 remaining toy soldiers will repeat their same action again. 2 against Jove, 2 against the swarm. The 2 against Jove. One is an unnatural 20, the other is a 17.
That's both hits.
Jove, you take a combined total of, the same thing twice. You take 10 points of piercing damage. The other two will attack the swarm, and that is going to be, that's two 17s plus 4 for 21 apiece. As all 4 of the soldiers hit. That's max. That's plus 5. So, for a grand total of 11 points of piercing to the swarm. As that last remaining swarm of dolls begin to put up their final charge against you, Jove. We'll drop it down to Alder.
Okay. We will try once more to take control of these things properly. So I don't roll bad again.
Music make you lose control.
Music make you lose control. That is for a 16.
That'll do. What is your command?
I command the soldiers to attack the dolls and then attack the other's toy soldiers.
Okay, attack the dolls and attack the toy soldiers. Heard. Any movement from you, my man?
No, we'll stay where we are.
Gotcha. Return back to the swarms. One for Virgil, one for Jove. The one on Jove, that is a 6. The one on... Oh, that's cocked. Reroll that. That's 16. Not gonna do. Alright, Virgil.
Alright, so in front of me, I have or I guess in me is the swarm of dolls, and then in front of me is one toy soldier.
Yep.
Correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I will take a swing on the soldier.
Heard.
That is a 7.
Not gonna do.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Then, with my bonus action. No, I'm not gonna do that. I pass.
Pass it on over to Jove.
All right. Yeah. Not feeling happy about getting stabbed, but better him than.
Yeah. Want a
Oh,
mansion,
so
a jacuzzi, a theater that hits my floozies.
The club comes down. Does not go up. It is a 19.
That'll hit.
That's a max damage for 6 bludgeoning.
How do you want to do this?
Woo! There we go. I just imagine, like, for the last few that are left, it's just like whack-a-mole. And, yeah, he's just gonna go through and just, with the club, just try and just smash the shit out of these motherfuckers.
You do. You reduce them to basically porcelain dust.
Yeah. Then he is going to, use his bonus action to throw his, to whip his whip at one of the toy soldier that has been stabbing me, motherfucker.
You got it.
That is going to be for a 17.
That'll hit.
That is for 1 slashing.
You slash up against it, and the soldier seems to take 0 damage. It is simply turned to the side.
Really. Yeah. Now that that's dead, he's just gonna stand there, with them all having these 4 knives. But if he knows if he's gonna move away, at least he's thinking that he'll get the stabby stab. So he'll go ahead and stay there.
Of course, the toy soldiers go. All of them raise their tiny, tiny knives and rush forward, Jove. You brace yourself for the attack that never comes as they push past you, and the remaining 5 soldiers all take stabs at the dolls surrounding Virgil. Since they are all there, all of them get advantage on this attack. That's a natural 19. It's a natural 19. That's a natural 15. That's a nat 20. And that's natural 15. All of them hits, which, if I add all of the damages, so that is 3, min, 2, max, and max, so that is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 8, 20, plus 3 for 21, plus 2 for 25, and then the extra 1. The combined toy soldiers do a total of 26 damage to the swarm. It is reduced. 13. Clearing out 2/3 of the swarm immediately. As they then stand at attention. And we move it over to Alder.
Okay, so the doll swarms are now all gone.
On
right?
Virgil.
Oh,
There is
on
one
Virgil.
remaining swarm on Virgil, and you have watched as all 5 of the toy soldiers lined up, think revolutionary style, like British trying to take the colonies, in a line, all march forward, and all, like the Argonauts, taking out the Barbies, just take them out, clearing 2/3 of the swarm to only about a half dozen dolls remain.
Beautiful. He will try once again to take control here.
Intelligence check.
That is a 14.
What is your command?
The same as last time. Attack the dolls and then attack the other toy soldiers.
Heard. That brings us to the remaining swarm on Virgil, who's going to attempt to strangle him. Nope, that's a 10. Back to Virg.
Right. I got a bunch of boys in front of me.
Yep, you have 5 toy soldiers and the rest of the swarm at your feet.
Fortunately, I don't do crowd things. It'd be a great opportunity to do so. Just checking my inventory to see if there's anything that does. Nope. So I'm going to smang the 4th one.
Let's see it.
11?
That'll hit.
Nice.
Nope, sorry. That does not hit. Close, but not quite.
Then I pass.
Then it's Jove.
Now that he doesn't have anybody on him, he will go back down the aisle towards his friends. He is going to collect his Electrum Spear and have that in hand as he will take a strike in a reckless manner at the toy soldier that Virgil had swung at.
Go for it.
That is for a 13.
13. That'll hit.
Sweet. Okay. Oh, for a max damage of 8 piercing.
8 piercing. Indeed, you pierce through, destroying the central kind of body of this soldier, but just the barest frames of it hold it up still. The wood seems particularly hard.
Nice.
Well, he's going to try and smack that hardwood with the Whip of Warning.
You're gonna whip out the hardwood?
Maybe. That's a 22. With
That'll
Whip of
hit.
Warning. For another minimum of 1 slashing.
Does no damage.
Just a nice, satisfying smack sound.
Just the nice sound of the whip.
Then yeah, he will stand.
5 toy
It is turn.
soldiers will all make their attacks on the swarm. Bam, bam. 23, 20, 23, 17, nat 20. That is... For a combined total, 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. Grand total of 19 damage, which is more than enough to stab the remaining dolls to death, before they all return back to attention. We are out of initiative.
Beautiful.
There are 4 perfectly pristine toy soldiers and 1 barely holding it together. But they are all standing at attention, no longer moving. The various dolls shattered around you, and Isabella nowhere to be seen.
Can Jove go to the stage and look at the guy, see if he's with
Roll
us?
me a medicine check.
6.
6. He's unconscious, bleeding. He looks bad. If he's not dead, he may soon be.
Yeah, he'll yell back as much and say, I think this guy's alive, but there's nothing I can do for him. I don't think we have time to be sitting around either. He is going to try, though, like, I guess, roll him, so he's not just, like, face down.
Easy enough. You roll him over and you get a good look at his face. He's got really light brown hair, almost blonde. Looks probably about middle-aged. You can see some gray coming into the big mutton chops mustache combo that many of the men of Orsnu wear. Looking at him, Jove, his chest does move just ever so slightly. Very shallow breaths. And he is wearing a pendant necklace, like the one that clicks open to reveal photos.
He's gonna slip that off of him, and as he does, he's gonna say, "I'm gonna come back for you, man. Promise." And he'll go over and return to his other friends as we kind of try and figure out what to do.
You return back to the party with the man's necklace taken from his neck. Still closed.
Thanks for the help there, Virgil. Did Isabella go anywhere?
I mean, she went to her room. I don't know where she is now, since I left her so rudely.
Well, let's certainly hope that she didn't go tell Mom and Dad about what happened.
Well, I think that's our next step, right? To go see where Mom and Dad stop them from hurting more folks like that poor fella. I mean, look at this. He's probably had a wife and kids. He'll open up the locket and look inside.
Inside, you see 2 kind of hand-drawn portraits. They're not the nicest ones, Jove. You think you probably can do better, but they are indeed lovingly made. And it shows a homely-looking woman on one, and then a young girl in the other one. A exact likeliness of Serena.
Oh, fuck, guys. That over there was Serena's dad. Look, and he'll dangle and show the locket to them.
Well, hopefully she didn't end up like her dad as well. No, she's not in the workshop, so some rooms we haven't checked, but likely with Glovia, I'd imagine, or someone.
I mean, at this point, is there any use to, I don't know, playing along with this Isabella? I fear we may be distracting ourselves. I don't know what sort of value is she going to be giving us at this point. We found the workshop, and I believe there was some stairs in the workshop.
Indeed, heading down.
Maybe it's time to go back and check Lovia's space. If you all think it's best to keep, playing along with this little girl, at least let me know, and know what we're trying to get out of here, because out of her. Because at this point, I'm feeling a little confused about the wisdom of being trotted along by her.
All right.
Yeah. My honest assumption with playing along with her was to not end up like Serena's dad over there, honestly. I understand wanting to help guys like him, but I also don't want to become a guy like him at the same time. But if she's not keen to us anymore, then there's not much more reason for pressing on with the show. So we can go back and check on things we didn't want, but I have a feeling that, well, if she's not coming to talk to us, she might go talk to mom and dad up here. So whatever we decide we do, we gotta go now.
Yeah, no use in purposely pissing her off, but yeah. Do we know if their space is in the upstairs? Have we discovered that? Where we think Glovia and the husband are, or are we still looking for that?
You've discovered Lucian's workshop, and you've discovered Isabel's room and the stage, but you have yet to find Glovia, her workshop, Lucian himself. The only thing you've really found besides that would be the empty staircase in the Midnight Garden, with a space where discarded bodies have been thrown down from. But besides that, the manor is still a mystery.
Well, we should check the other rooms up top here. I think you're right, Alder. If they're going to have their own residence or something like that, they're more likely to have that on the top floor than something downstairs.
And I say we press on up here. So, should we exit back out into the kind of like the main hall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You enter back out to the main hall. You see a door to your left, one directly ahead of you, and two doors on the opposite side, the opposite walkway from Isabella's and Lucian's workshop. As you exit, leaving Serena's father still on the stage. Where do you all go to next?
Well, probably they're probably in one of the bigger rooms, is my guess. So maybe that front space right off of the staircases is where they're at. At least it can be a place to try. And he's going to be referencing room number 5, the one that has the 2
Indeed.
doors. It looks like.
You got it.
Seems fairly big. I almost would have thought the stage would have been in here at first. Let's give it a peek.
Indeed. You head on over. Once again, there's that signet ring hole that you place and turn. Another kind of shine of light of magic outlines the door. You open up. Once this was the master bedchambers. This room has been cleared of any bedroom furniture. There are 5 large tables, each with the body in various states of autopsy, or perhaps assembly. It's difficult to tell which. Body parts have been combined and stitched together, creating massive, hulking cadavers, some with mechanical parts attached using what you can only assume the most horrific of procedures. Other tables hold all manner of various body parts, vial reagents, and surgical instruments. You see many scientific anatomy books, diagrams, and notes lie scattered about. And on the far west side, you see an alchemy station next to the largest of these cadavers. On one side, you see a excessively large metal arm has been grafted to the cadaver. I will say that on the west side, right past the alchemy table, you do see another door. And with all of your passive perceptions, for the first time since entering into the manor, you see the flickering of light.
Real quick, DM, as we are
Yes.
heading over to this room, I want to, with the controller, try to give the command to the toy soldiers to follow after us.
Go ahead and roll me that intelligence check.
That is a 10.
You give them the command to follow. Um, they begin to follow. And as you head towards the master bedchambers, they take a hard right and return back to Lucian's workshop.
Well, I try. He will definitely hold on to the controller, though.
Indeed.
I guess Joe will kind of make his way through this grisly scene towards the door.
Of course. You head towards the door. It is... From what you've seen of how Glovia runs the hospice, this could almost be a one-for-one recreation if it weren't so ghastly. You can see all manner of organs harvested, sitting their own. Not sure if a combination of pickling or formaldehyde, as they all show pale lifelessness to them. You pass by that final body and head up to the door. You hear voices. A woman's voice. A small chanting. The sounds of a page turning. Erratic breathing. And then creaking. And as you turn behind you, Jove, to see the source of the creaking, the large, metal-armed cadaver swings its feet over the edge and stands. Taller than Virgil, wider, grafted with the largest of cadaver, appendages and chest. You look to the face, and with grim realization, you see the pale, clean, what may have been handsome in life face that you have seen plastered on a family portrait of the Phalasenus. As you have found Lucian in this undead state. As he comes to his feet, the metal arm raises up. I'm gonna need everybody to roll initiative. Switch over the music. $21, 10, 20. Okay. Yeah. To the third page of initiatives. Virgil. We begin to set the scene in this awful laboratory. Jove, you are currently at the western door. Immediately behind Jove is this large, reanimated Lucian. Virgil and Alder. Unless you decided not to enter the room, I'll kind of let you guys place yourselves as you would like.
And just to check, is this in room 8 that
This
Joe
is room
now in?
5.
Room 5.
He is on the door right next to room 8. He's the farthest one in and the closest to this reanimated Lucian.
Gotcha. I would say Alder is like kind of near where it's like almost like going into its own room, like where you can see the walls are kind of starting to come in a little bit. Alder would probably be
Indeed.
placed around there. Yeah.
Gotcha. And Virgil?
By you asking where I'm at?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I would just be by Alder.
Indeed. The both of you are kind of at that hall entrance that leads to the alchemy table, Lucian, and where Jove is at. Say side by side. So about, what's that? 5, 10. About 15 feet away from Jove and 5 feet away from this large undead monstrosity. We'll begin at the top of initiative with Virgil.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay here. Or where's Jove in relation to the baddie?
You could think of it almost like a sandwich, where you've got Jove right next to the door, Lucian right behind him, and about 10 feet or so behind Lucian is you and Alder. And this just to show the size of this, you cannot see Jove at all behind this creature. He's that large, both in height and width.
Okay. I will run up to him then and try and get flanking.
As you turn and run up behind, the whole neck of Lucian twists around. You can hear the number of what bones are in there breaking, but without actually snapping. As his head turns all the way around, one arm twists behind, and it's odd. It's like he has full control over every single part of his body without any lights actually being on behind the eyes, as he looks directly at you as you move closer.
And then I will swing.
Go ahead and make an attack, not with advantage.
For 17.
17 will hit.
That's not enough damage. 5 silver piercing.
5 silver. Gotcha.
And use my bonus action to rally her. Wait, is he holding a weapon?
He is not holding a weapon.
Right, he is the weapon. Okay, yeah, then I will rally Joe.
Hell yeah.
5, 10.
Thank you, sir.
And then I'll action surge. And hit him again. 16.
That'll hit.
Oh my god, that's damn close. 4 silver piercing.
Got it. You strike against this creature, and if anyone's seen one of the latest episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen where that little bitch tries to kick Nanami straight in the chest, and Nanami just sits there, it's like kicking a wall. It's a whole lot like that. You strike it twice, but it doesn't even budge. The skin itself doesn't even seem to move or reverberate. Everything is taut and tight, muscular to an insane degree. You can almost see the skin looks like it's on the edges of bursting for just how much muscle has been piled on. Anything else from me, Virgil?
That'll do.
That'll do, and that takes us to Alder.
All right.
Actually, use the rest of my movement if I can to position myself next to Joe.
Indeed. Go ahead and roll me an athletics check as you try to get around this large eye. It's less of him attacking and more of do you have the strength to move his arm out of the way to get to Jove.
Athletics with my massive +5, that's going to be all the way up to 7.
You try to push past to get to Jove. You effectively put yourself in front of Alder, blocking this creature from making a strike on Alder, but it's not enough to get to Jove.
Okay. So I will be in range for any sentinel that procs, but not any protection on Jove.
Gotcha. Alder, speaking of which.
Okay. I don't know if I could roll even an insight on this, but does Alder get the feeling that this might be like similar mechanically to the toys? Like he's trying to guess if he could possibly use the controller on him as well, or if it would have an effect.
Don't roll me insight, roll me intelligence. So it'll be like an insight roll, but we'll use your intelligence instead of wisdom.
Fair. I went really low, man. That's a 5.
A 5? You're not sure if the controller that is made for these toy soldiers would affect Lucian. You're not sure unless you try. Whether you choose to or not, I'll leave up to Alder.
don't expect it to really like take control of him, but if it could do something for his mechanical parts, because he does have mechanical parts on him, correct?
He does have one large metal arm.
One large metal arm.
Yes, we'll say this is a large metal arm is his right arm, and that is what is preventing Virgil from strafing to get to Jove. It's long, and the knuckles of this arm drag on the ground, just to show the size of it. It's got to be, if this creature itself is well over 7, 8 feet tall, the arm itself is probably got to be 9 feet long, almost 10.
Yeah, Alder's just not sure if that's quite gonna work, so...
Totally
we'll-
understandable.
Yeah, he will hold off on that for now then. So, instead, he will use one of his remaining spell slots to cast Protection from Good and Evil on Virgil, since he is directly in front of him.
Give me some flavor.
It's once again, he's kind of going into that coalescing light, but now with like the mage armor on and kind of that like gray charcoal exterior with the with kind of the prodding of it coming out of like the cindering cracks in him now. That's that gold kind of flame and light like emits essentially from his being as it begins to kind of swirl around and kind of takes a form around Virgil, essentially kind of giving him like a casing almost, or a moving casing. It kind of has a flow to it.
As this energy swirls around you, it goes from that kind of golden light to the color of gray and charcoal, like a grill that's fully heated up. It wafts down upon you, Virgil, swirling around you, not enough to obscure your vision, but you feel this kind of, like putting your hand over boiling water, sensation kind of drip down onto you. The light turning to that same sort of gray. Small faces almost congeal and dissipates as it moves across Virgil's body. But you have that on you. Anything else from
And-
you, Alder?
Yes, since so he does that, puts that on Virgil, and he will now move. How big even is this room, actually?
You'd say it's about 30 feet long by 20 feet wide, or since it's length by width. When we're looking at the longer sides are about 30 feet, the shorter sides are about 20 feet. It's a big rectangle.
Gotcha. He will head then to the opposite end, essentially, of the room with his movement speed to kind of line himself up with that creature, but kind of moving away from Virgil. But he'll head to the other side of the room, essentially.
You got it. Next is going to be Lucian. As his head twists around, getting a whole 360 view of his surroundings, he's going to take that big metal arm and he is going to shove Jove. Jove, make me an athletics check.
Okay. Come on. Not great. That is a 9.
There's a 9 up against his 21. Jove, you are flung sideways as this metal arm connects and shoves you into this alchemical table. Make me a dexterity saving throw.
That is a 23.
You
No,
pass.
I'm sorry. 21.
21. Oh, well, in that case, full damage. No, you will take half of the damage as a number of noxious burning liquids all splash out. You're able to dodge the bulk of it, but what does land on your skin?
Do you know
Oh.
danger sense or whatever that is? Does that work here?
Jove, I believe that's a question for you.
Yeah.
It has to be something that I see coming. So, right? Because
I mean, it's up to DM's discretion at that point.
yeah,
On this one, I would say this would be less of a danger sense since you are being actively thrown. On this one, if it were a trap, then absolutely. Jove, you take nearly max. This would have been 10 points of fire damage and 9 points of acid. Halved, you take 5 points of fire damage and, since we're the DM, round up 5 points of acid damage.
Are you up?
yeah. Honestly, Virgil's temp HP has been keeping me going this whole time.
Jeez, dude.
Which I'm out, by the way. I need a short rest.
Which the mechanical arm will then twist over the top, spinning on kind of its shoulder joint, and slams backwards behind it, striking you, Virgil. Attempting to. We'll see. Let's see. Now this guy actually fucking hits. He's not a swarm of dot. Natural 18. With its bonuses. Yes, with its he does, if you would imagine so. With his +6, making this a 24. You'll take 1 slam attack. You'll take 9 points of bludgeoning damage. As
At max.
that close, but not quite. As the arm mechanically swings backward with all of its force in an impossible hit that no living creature would be able to do, slams against you, Virgil, and for the first time, you take it straight to the middle of the chest. The weight of this arm is insane. You feel like even you might struggle to pick this up with your strength. But that's going to be its turn. It's going to stand and deliver. Happy with its choices.
Does the shove count as an attack action?
This one... Yes, it's replacing one of its attacks with the shove action. So I'd say yes.
So Sentinel would have proc.
I'll give it to you. Yeah, go ahead and make an attack. That makes sense to me.
18. Yeah, because shove can be deemed as just like its own action, but if it's using the attack action, like...
Yes, I would say...
I would say that would proc.
Checks out to me. And you said an 18?
18 to hit.
More than enough.
Okay. And another low damage roll. 5 silver piercing.
5 silver piercing. Jew. As we'll say to put this in the correct order of operations, shoves Jove. The table splatters against Jove, doing some burning and acid damage. You strike with your war pick, and in return, the middle arm leaps backward and strikes you in return. That's going to be its turn. It's not going to move anywhere because it's right where it wants to be. Jove.
Yeah, that fucking pissed him off. This whole place has pissed him off. I mean, it's just more nobles doing fucked up shit to people, just like in Mole Master. And he's just had that werewolf just like right bubbling this whole time, and just he doesn't. Yeah, exactly. It's a let go than like more of a conscious choice, as he uses a rage to go into his 25% wolfy form, and he will move. You know, actually, he's really pissed off. So he's gonna go, especially with that realization, everything coming together. He's gonna do the full Monty. So he's going into the.
Give me the flavor.
The 75% wolf. So making like an unnatural kind of like breaking sound as his shins get longer, and his back that already had kind of hunched forward in the 25% form is now truly hunching over as he is now covered in fur. Really, the only patches that aren't completely hairy are like his forehead and then like right around his cheekbones, but it's like his beard is like going all the way up to his eyeballs, and he's got the big poofy eyebrows, and his face has elongated. His hands, on the other hand, are completely now covered in fur. Those nasty claws that had popped out from where his fingernails were are even sharper, almost going into dagger territory, as he is now not a large creature, but he is larger than he was before for sure. He is now probably, I would say, maybe like pushing on 6 feet. And as he scrambles up, approximately how far away did I get smashed against?
You got shoved about 10 feet away.
So he's 10 feet away from me.
Indeed.
Gotcha. All right. So then he will go forward with his reckless claws and attack advantage here. That is going to be for a 19 for the first one.
A 19 will hit.
That is going to be for 10 slashing.
10 slashing. Are your claws magical? Or is that later?
I have the sheet here. Actually, I think what we may have said was when I do the 2 rages, it's magical, and when it's just the 1 rage, it's not. I'm going back into our DMs here. Yeah, no, you said level 6 for magical attacks.
Dangerous.
So,
Okay.
Not yet. So not yet. So they are physical in nature.
Gotcha. 10 points of damage. Heard.
And then we'll use the bonus action for the offhand attack. Ooh, so close to the natty. That's going to be for 23.
That'll hit.
And this, I don't add my strength, but I do get the rage bonus for 9 slashing.
Got it. As Jove, the suppression that your conscious mind is able to withstand finally slips between the horrors below you, the undead children in the ballroom, the macabre dance of Serena's father, to have finally put the blame on Glovia and Lucian, only to find that even her own husband has fallen to her vile machinations, is too much. The weight of your traumas breaks. And with a howl that causes a shudder through nearly every living thing in here, your companions do not see this change, but they certainly hear it. The breaking, the snapping, the hunger. As what little part of you remains focused on the attack. You move this powerful new body, faster, stronger. You feel a strength drive into you that you have not felt in this place since you left. Since you were ripped away from Aquila. And like finally getting to scratch the middle of your back that you could never reach before. Everything finally makes sense. All you have to do is claw your way through this creature and Glovia. That's all you have to do. That's all you need to do. It's all you want to do. As your claws rake across Lucian's undead, modified form, you can rip out huge chunks. Feel the cold flesh between your claws. And a fulfillment comes over you. It's cold flesh, but flesh nonetheless. As Job's primal instincts drive him forward, we go back to the top with Virgil.
Yeah. I'm going to try and position myself next to Joe.
Absolutely. Go ahead and make me that athletics check again
Yeah.
to move the giant mechanical arm.
14.
14. That's... Yep. This time, you're able to push past. You get onto the other side and... Go ahead. In a seeing Jove in this one, I'm going to call for a horror check here, Virgil, as you see Jove for the first time. He does not look anything like Jove at all. And go ahead, this is going to be a mutilation horror check, so go ahead and make me a constitution saving throw.
That's what I was hoping to say. Does a 23 do?
Yes, it does. You see this. No stranger to a more bestial rage from some points in your earlier days. You focus on the task at hand. Whatever's happened to Jove, he's clearly attacking Lucian, and that's all you need. Continue your turn.
I'm going to try and smang, if you believe it. Oh, I rolled the same number, 23.
That'll do.
Alright.
Let's
then,
change the
roll
music
one
with the
or a two.
werewolf.
Hiya! Hey, that's decent. 9 silver piercing.
9 silver piercing. Gotcha. Oh, come on, music. Don't fight me like this.
And that is all that I can do.
Gotcha. What was the damage real quick?
I could try and push him, but I don't think that's in our best interest at the moment. 9 silver piercing.
You got it. As you go side by side with Job, as you begin ripping and tearing into this creature to the best of your abilities, we switch on over to Alder. The ripping and the tearing, ripping and the tearing.
Alrighty. Alder's got a good distance. I believe they're on the other side now of this creature, right?
Indeed. You have its back, but the head does continue to twist and turn on its axis, giving it the ability to see 360 degrees around. A modification, if you will.
Okay. Well, he'll get to see this coming as he needs to make a dex save as Alder finally gets to take a deep breath and feel that flame build up inside of him as he unleashes a torrent from his hand, and he will Agnazar's Scorcher the full length basically across this room, being perfectly timed for the edge of it to just land on Lucian here, as he needs to make a dex save, please.
That is going to be a 12.
That
13
does
minus
not-
1.
That does not pass. Unfortunate for him.
All right.
That minus 1 just got him out of it, so he will take the full damage. Ooh, that's a good roll too. Yeah, Alder really puts almost all of his flame that he can into this, as that hits for 19 fire damage.
19 fire damage takes the brunt of it.
Yeah, that was 2 7s and a 5 on that.
Alder, you breathe deeply, much like Uncle Iroh on the day of Sozin's Comet. You inhale, and you see the wisps of smoke pull into you. First white and gray of Barovia, then amber, before a dark blood red. The heat of this whole room skyrockets. And as you put your hands forward, they feel heavy. They drop to your sides. Your mouth opens. It unleashes a torrent of fire. You feel the flames erupt from your whole body, get pulled forward as this gout of flame decimates anything moving forward. You see the rest of the tables, the notes, so much of the cadavers here are immediately turned to ash as a straight shot barrels into Lucian's back, and you see layers upon layers of muscle burn away. The dead flesh taking immense damage from your fire magic. A awful, terrible cry. One you didn't think was possible from a creature like this. An undead creature feeling pain erupts. You see the metal arm begin to heat up, going from its dull, blackened, silver appearance to now becoming red hot from the shoulder, halfway down the arm. And as you keep piling on the fire, the whole arm goes red as his body is wreathed in flames. A powerful strike. Anything else from you, Alder?
Nope, because he's already on the other side, on the whole other side of this room.
You got it. It would then be Lucian's turn. Whew. That was a fair bit of damage. Lucian is going to make 2 attacks, one against Jove and one against Virgil, as he swings this red-hot arm, and as it arcs through, each one of you is going to take an attack. First one for...
You roll with advantage against me because I reckless attacked, just by the way.
Heard. Important knowledge.
Mine, so back to an even attack.
Gotcha. Against Virgil, that is a 22.
That hits.
Against Jove, that is only a 14.
That will miss.
All right, Virgil. As this arm swings, Jove, you're able to go low and avoid this red-hot arm strike against you. Virgil, with your much larger body, there's not much room to go. As you take... Where is my die? Oh, that's minimum. But since it is red-hot iron, you're going to take 5 points of bludgeoning damage and 4 points of fire damage. That's going to be Lucian's turn. To Jove.
Gotcha. You mentioned that this is cold flesh, right? There's no red, delicious blood pouring out of any of these wounds?
It is cold, mechanical, malefic science flesh. It is undead in every way, shape, and form. Nothing beats in this body any longer. Through magic and mechanics, it gains a new life.
Yeah, Jove kind of gathers that information through his nose as he sniffs into the air a couple of times and rears back up and will do another set of claw attacks.
See it.
Oh, that's only a 9 for the first one.
Luckily for you, that's the meets beats.
Oh, hell yeah. This is for a tasty 11 slashing.
11 slashing, you got it.
And then we'll use the bonus action to rake up the left hand. And that will be for an 18.
That'll hit.
be for 7 slashing.
Got it. You tear into Lucian, ripping through the flesh. It is easy. It's natural. This new form gives you so much range of motion, so much more strength. You finally feel... It's an odd sensation as the Jove that we've come to grow and love almost is lulled into a sleep that you've never felt more awake. Every detail of this fight is in high contrast. It's like seeing everything in 4K for the first time after sitting at like 720. Every muscle twitch out. You can smell the burning flesh of Virgil. You can feel the rise in temperature and the heat from Alder. It's like giving you almost this meta sense of the room. And you can smell behind that door decay and magic all at once. Any movement from you, Jove?
Don't think so. We'll stand right here. I'm not like in any danger of the like chemicals and shit. Like they're not like pooling my way or anything like that, right?
Well, there are still a number of alchemical vials, bottles, potions, even. You're 10 feet away, so you are not in any current danger, lest you get slammed back into it again.
Yeah, I feel like he would have the sense enough to not have that happen again. So if he can strafe... Well, I guess I don't want to get too far away from
I go
my
before
boy
you.
here. Oh, that is... Okay, yeah. I don't know whether those 2 men or not, or whatever. But he'll strafe to try and get... so he's not going to get smashed into the alchemical table again.
You got it. Or at least you attempt to.
Yes.
We move on over to Virgil.
I'm gonna go before he does and go around and buddy up with Jove again.
Got it. You twist and the head twists along with you, the arms moving in a range of motion that the living could never accomplish.
And I try to smack him. I don't.
Oh,
That's
no.
my turn.
Gotcha. Alder.
I forgot how boring fighters' turns are when they're like tapped, like completely tapped. Just like, well, there it is.
There it
I
is.
hit or I don't, you know?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Alder will go ahead and try to use a firebolt on this guy. So we'll see. if
Go
we
for
hit.
it.
That is for a 13.
13, that'll hit.
Do hit, okay. For the minimum, that is 1 fire damage as he singes a little bit of the back here, you know?
Indeed. The flesh still continues to burn away. The effectiveness of your fire is not lost, even if it was not the same muster of strength from your previous turn.
Beautiful.
Anything else from you?
That's all for him.
Lucian's whole body will turn now to face Jove and Virgil. And in this move, Jove, you're going to receive a pincer attack.
At disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
One of them will
regular,
have
right?
regular advantage, and then the other one will have advantage.
Jove, that's a 14.
That misses.
As you see both hands come together, as if trying to give you a awful hug. And you can see the metal arm singeing into the flesh on the other side. What little part of you that is thinking clearly can only imagine the type of damage that would have happened should you have been pincered like that. But that's going to be its move, as we drop down to Jove.
Ooh. Yeah, after dodging that maneuver, he is going to, like, rather than really slashing, he's going in to tear out, almost like a dog digging a hole, except into his flesh. So that is going to be for a 19 to hit.
That'll hit.
That is 8 slashing.
Slashing.
And then he'll use his bonus action to bring the other arm and do a similar kind of like fish hook in, claw out. Ooh, there it is. There's the nat 20. Let's go. Let's go. So I get an extra d6.
Order to critical.
That's going to be...
Bye, F.
It's going to be for a clean 30 slashing, my friend.
30 slashing.
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
How?
Like you pluck the number out of thin air. How would you like to do this?
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, so having
even with the
dodged-
resistance, you needed exactly like 15. So when you half that gives you the 15 you need.
Yeah, having the extra d6 when you crit, that definitely helps.
Jesus.
Yeah, so that's 3d6 plus the 3d. Yeah, so how this happens is, he comes in, and I'll say, well, no, he smelled and it was gross, so he's not going to get his mouth involved in this, but he'll reach in with both hands and really like use the claw tips as almost like a surgical tool to just like cleave further and deeper in there into this mass of muscle. And once he's like elbow deep in both sides, he's going to grip the meat therein and just slash out, just completely tearing out whatever fleshy machinery, magic bullshit is all up inside him, just splattered across the ground.
As the large body thuds, the hot metal continues to burn into the remnants of Lucian. The body becomes still. We are out of initiative. However, Jove, Alder, you see in front of you the now nearly complete bestial form of Jove, like a bigger, stronger, more feral version of an American werewolf in London. Beard still pronounced, but different in every meaningful way. I need you to make me a horror check based off mutilation using your constitution.
Ooh. Let's see. That is 17.
That'll do. You're able to ignore the horror of Jove's transformation as Jove, your senses in high gear, your heart pumping so fast that you don't even hear the beats in between, like a steady boom. Everything is heightened. And with your heightened senses, you do smell blood, fresh blood. You smell decay and magic and blood, warmth and mildew behind that door. I need you to roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Gotcha. And I would say, yeah, he would be fucking immediately going for that door, having picked that up beforehand. That is only an 8 for the saving throw.
Without so much as a singular thought or restraint, Jove, you claw through that door. It bursts.
Would he be moving out of my attack range?
Yes.
I'm gonna hit him with the blunt side of, like the handle of my war pick. I'm gonna try to.
Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Oh, what a good time for a high roll. That's a 24 to hit.
You go ahead and strike. I'll say, since you're using the blunt side, it's not weapon intent for that one. What's your strength score?
Strength is +3.
Jove, you take 3 points, reduced to 2, as Virgil strikes you as you head towards the door. I need you to make another...
Movement 0.
Indeed. Jove, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Cocked. That's a 7.
A 7. Party, I need everybody to roll initiative again.
Oh no!
As Jove, whatever's on that other side of the door can wait. As you are now bloodthirsty and see a large, bleeding, warm-blooded minotaur in front of you.
Initiative?
Yep. All right, Virgil, Jove, I'm not going to go based on dexterity on this one. I need you guys to roll these. Roll a flat d20.
Oh no. 3.
5.
Oh, so
All
close.
right. It goes Jove, Virgil, Alder. Jove, opening move is yours.
Oh yeah. Well, if my ire now is directed here.
Let's say, before we start, at the top of your turn, go ahead and roll wisdom saving throw to see if you can rein yourself back in. What are your hit points at currently?
There we go. That's a 19. My hit points are at 21.
21. You rolled a 19. That's what you need. Jove, you tense up. You are about to leap forward. You see Virgil there, war pick in hand, Alder at the other side of the room, and that 25% of you that's still Jove. What's your HP maximum, by chance?
42.
42? You're perfectly at half. Yep, that'll do. You were able to rein it back. You have a very loose grasp, but for this moment, your rage does not end, but you are able to gain your sense of self. Different than what you are used to. Still, your focus then turns back to the door ahead of you, but we'll jump out of initiative on this one as you're able to regain yourself.
Yeah, let like as as Virgil like hits him and he like feels that building rage, he'll look back and Virgil, you'll see like he is about to fucking actually gonna bite you. You see his teeth snarling up, but instead he lets out a roar, as it were, and will then kind of motion with his head as then he is going to regain that little bit of control that he can, that executive function, and he is going to head for that door again.
And I let you.
Jove, this time, you rush the door, turning your energy with a nod and a semblance of understanding between you and Virgil. You nod back, turn your eyes to the door, and leap towards it. You smash through with your new, more dense body, strong, as the door shatters. You appear upon Glovia's real laboratory. The room is lit by many candles. The air is thick and warm, and carries the stench of mildew and rotting flesh. On opposing sides of the room, on the north and south side, you see 2 tables. One holds the heavily decomposed body of a young girl in a new dress, her chest cavity open and empty, while the other holds the unconscious body of Serena, her skin covered in tiny, arcane markings carved into her flesh. Next to Serena's table is a hole in the floor where a staircase once was. Between the tables stands Glovia, flanked by desiccated humanoids wearing suits of armor over fine clothes, their bodies stitched together in an ugly fashion. You see her wearing the strange spectacles from your seance. The amber-tinted lenses with the green, almost snake-like sliver down the middle. She's calm and holds a strong resolve, addressing you with this slow cadence. You've yet to kill the real monster. Huh. I warned you they would be trouble, my daughter. I can see that you've been distracted. You see Isabella pulled by an invisible force, her arms and legs splayed backwards as she is pulled through the walls, shoved up into the middle of the air. As you hear her cry out, "Oh, mother, it hurts!" Energy begins to swirl in the room between Serena, Isabel, and the dead cadaver to your left. The desiccated corpses step forward, guarding Glovia. A self-portrait with every malevolent detail of Glovia's madness looks upon you all behind her. It seems to glow with a dark energy as purples and greens swirl around the room. And as the door breaks and you all peer upon the scene, that is where we're going to end it for tonight.
Ooh.
Well, so many good moments of this one. It is fucking time
Hell yeah.
to face Glovia and her true title of Necromancer. Let us say goodnight to chat.
Good night, chat.
Good night, chat.
Nighty night chat.
Good night, chat. Thank you so much for being here. As always, peace in the Middle East and much love. We'll see you next week.